We are counted down 3 days into the NFL draft. We have our first and final mock draft into draft season. Come on in. Let's have some fun. Let's go. I just feel like it's been a while since we've seen an ass whooping. Like, I'm talking about like Denver, Seattle ass whooping from
fucking. I want that. So
from fucking kickoff to the end of the game, just a complete ass whooping. What
can I say except you're welcome?
Let's hunt.
If we don't come together right now on this hollow ground. Where are you going? I'm going to pick a fight.
Give them nothing!
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is that why you are here?
Let the games begin. This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! This is where they die!
Yeah, I think
I'm going to Disney World.
Never gets old to see that trophy holding up high. Never gets old, man. Welcome, everybody, back to another special episode of Victory Monday. We are doing our first and final mock draft until Thursday's date. Let's see how good we are. I'm the player. I'm the host. They call me Moss Money. That is the GM himself, Erine B. What's up, bro?
Favorite week of the year, man. To be honest with you, this process is one of my favorite things in the entire sports world. And I'd probably say my entire life I've been into it, but for like the past 5 years, I've been hyper invested into it. And you meet a lot of cool people doing it, but it's like the fact that this is going to be our second mock. I thought we did pretty well last year too. So
yeah, we did.
Be cool to see how spot on we get, just around the league as a whole. And we are doing this as if we are thinking. So
sure.
Nate's thoughts versus my thoughts. We come from two different perspectives. Obviously, we're not going to say, this quarterback is bad, so I'm drafting this guy. It's going to be realistic, but it's going to be fun. And we have a good time doing these. I love him way more than Nate does, but he's going to start a lot more. So
yeah, I'm getting. You know what it is at the end of the day. I'm getting a more respect for the cats that go through this process because it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of information, man. It's a lot of information, and it's a lot of and it's a world where those who are correct, live in glory because everybody's wrong, So it's like because everybody has their opinion, everybody has their hot take. This guy's good. This guy sucks. But it's why, guys like Greg Cosell have made a career out of just being an evaluator and has never worked on an NFL staff at all, has just made his career being an evaluator.
For sure.
There's a world out of it. I think that social media and, what we're about to do has made it a lot more open for the public to start thinking like the GM side of things and the business side of the business, because at the end of the day, it is a business. You hear that referred to a lot of times in contract negotiations, but, here we are, man. This is the week. I know a lot of people are ready for the, what are the Eagles going to do at 32?
That should be fun.
It's going to be fun. And it's also going to be crazy to see what happens. I think a lot of us think the first overall pick's locked in, but what happens at 2, what happens at 3, that all affects every team afterwards. So the Eagles are affected by every pick. Don't think just because we're picking at 32, you don't need to be invested into the top 5 guys, because what positions go could start a run, which could make a player fall to the Eagles, just like last year with Quinyon Mitchell. You land the number 1 corner in the draft and you stick and pick. So it can work out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get to it, man. Going to flip a coin here. See who gets the first pick in the draft. Let's go. Give me that. God damn it.
No.
Erine B with the first pick in the draft. Yay.
All right, since we're doing it like I am, I'm going to blow it up. Titans are wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's bring up the little mock draft thing we got here. Little new one from last year, I think we used. So we'll bring up the Central.
Oh, this one's new.
Yeah.
Shout out whoever did this. Like, seriously, shout out mockdraftcentral.io. A buddy of mine put me onto you. I don't know who you are or whatever. I don't know if there's anything out there, but it's free. It's no ads. Mock it up, boys. Hopefully it's around next year. There's no copyright infringement, but this website's dope. Works great on your phone.
Yeah.
Not sure how well it's going to do on PC.
And we know what that good jingle is. Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
We're going to go ahead and lock it in. Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick. I finalized my comp for him, and I don't want it to – I'm not going to go deep into it, but I have a Baker Mayfield / Jay Cutler comp on Cam Ward. So that's just by play type, throwing angles, arm strength. I think he has a lot of ability. I'll say it out loud. I don't think he is a guy that is going to turn the Titans around by himself. He's going to need some help, but I think he's a talented quarterback that's going to make a career out of this league as a starter.
So this one with Cleveland Browns on the clock. Interesting. This is what I would do. And what I would do is probably take a generational talent and one of the best two-way players we maybe ever seen, I think, in Travis Hunter. I think they do make the trade. I do think they either trade back into the first round or, well, I know we're either going to trade back in for the first round or we're going to go get Kirk Cousins some way, somehow, and pair him up with Hunter. We're going to put Hunter as our number 1 receiver. And our defense was stout enough. Carter is enticing here, but give me Travis Hunter, receiver, cornerback, all everything from Colorado Buffaloes. Guy loves football. I like guys who love football. The New York Giants are on the clock.
I mean,
what you got for me, bro? What you got for me?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it chalk just because I'm gonna use the text I sent a buddy of mine this morning. If the Patriots want to land Carter, they need the Giants to do what they would always do, and that would be not usually make the most informed decision as a pick. Mm-hmm. But if they were smart, they would just take the best player available, who, in my opinion, this is my number 1 overall player in the class. And that is linebacker pass rusher Abdul Carter from Penn State. And we're going to figure out what we're going to do with Kayvon Thibodeau later. We're going to shore up the trenches. And I think John Mara, the owner, would be happy with that. I mean, we're coming away with a player that some guys have as the consensus number 1. And we're also potentially looking to trading back into the first round later to go after a certain someone's son.
I like it. Yeah, I like the Carter pick here. I think you got no choice. I think
if you pass on Abdul Carter, like Dable and Shane are going to get fired no matter what. So that's why I think they should just take Shedeur, just because why the hell not? But right. If you're looking to be a guy, like get a good pick under your, we look back later on, oh, Shane picked this guy. He wasn't that good. Pick this guy. He wasn't that good, but he did pick Abdul Carter. You're always going to get credit for that. So Carter's a stud. Can't miss player.
Yeah, I agree. And he was part. Well, he wasn't part, but he went to one of the greatest high schools in the area.
Also, diehard Birds fan. And I believe he was the Super Bowl.
And that is LaSalle, my fellow alumni, LaSalle College High School. So shout out to Abdul Carter. I ain't mad at you, bro. Go get that paper. Foot don't matter. All right, we got the Patriots on the clock, and Drake May needs some protection. Again, staying a little bit chalk here. We're going to go offensive tackle. I know there were some concerns about Will Campbell in terms of his arm length. Honestly, I don't really care. The guy's a stud. He started all 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Played against elite talent. He has the lane flexibility. little bit. But I think he can start not only at tackle but guard if they really needed to move him in if they wanted to. So give me Will Campbell, number 4 for the New England Patriots, offensive tackle from LSU.
And I
got to get a little bit better timing with that chime.
You gotta get that time. You gotta get that time right. You were great last year. Look, Will Campbell's the best offensive lineman in the draft. And if you're the Patriots who are looking to protect your franchise quarterback, it doesn't matter whether his arms are short, because I don't care. He's the best offensive lineman in the draft.
Yes.
It is what it is. I mean,
yes.
When Brian Baldinger tells you that this kid is the best offensive lineman in the draft, you listen. And it is what it is.
So I think this is where it gets kind of interesting for you here.
This is where the draft starts.
Yeah,
and I'm a little bummed out I won't be picking for Philly, but I'm happy because I did that. I did it last year. We should just switch off every year. Jacksonville. We all right. So look, I'm the Jaguars. I'm looking. I got a new head coach, and he comes from a flashy organization that likes to do a lot of things, with playmakers. So obviously, I'm going to look at Tyler Warren at tight end, because I'm looking at Brenton Strange, I'm looking at Johnny Mundt, Hunter Long, Sean Bowman, and Patrick Murtaugh. I don't have much. You know what I mean? I don't have much. There's some speculation going around. There's some Genty talk happening, which, of course, I'm sure there is with the Heat going to Vegas. So let's look at my room. I got ETN, I got Tank Bigsby, I got a Kalen Robinson, and I got a Louis Rees-Zammit, who's a more of a project player, former rugby player, I believe, that went to the Chiefs. So not really a surefire guy there. Mm-hmm. But I'm drafting for this team. And there's 2 places that I'm going to look at. And I'm going to look at defensive line and offensive line. And I'm going to ask myself, who do I like better, Armand Membu or Mason Graham? And I drafted I hired an offensive head coach. Walker Little's a player that I'm actually a big fan of. This is Fred Johnson's new home. Anton Harrison's a former first-round pick. But they signed Patrick McCarry. They signed Robert Haynes. They spent some money there. They've got some homegrown guys in the defensive line with Travon Walker, Devon Hamilton, Mason Smith, and Josh Hines-Allen. I just think that it doesn't matter which way I go here, because Warren, Genty, Membu, Graham, I think are going to help the team no matter what. So I'm going to go with who I have as the highest graded player out of those 4, and that's going to be Mason Graham. I'm actually going to add to my defensive line here, and I'm going to go early chalk from where, I'm just going to say, you know what? I saw how Philadelphia won, and they had Carter before they had Carter. So if I can put another guy next to Hines-Allen and Travon Walker, and he probably starts over Mason Smith next to Devon Hamilton, I think I've got a pretty damn good defensive front to work with.
Yeah, no, me personally, I don't know if he's that good to be a top 5 player.
Well, I could take the upside of Nolan. That's fine. But I also don't have that grade on Membu either. And I don't see what Genty or Warren does for an offense that can't protect a quarterback or can't rush the passer on defense because he can't get off the field. So I'm running a 4-3 defense. I see a multiple line. I see a defensive lineman with multiple alignment ability. Ultimately, he fits better in a 3-4. But I'm with like a Milton Williams kind of guy. I'm gonna make him fit, and he's gonna produce. And he might not make flashy plays, but he's a guy.
No, I hear you. I'm not mad at the pick. I'm not mad at the pick at all.
Shouldn't be. Wasn't your pick.
All right, the Raiders are on the clock.
Oh yeah, this is fun.
What
I gave you the hardest decision of the night because I gave you. Yeah,
because they have their troubles are on offense, right?
I mean, there's some Colton Miller talk. Let's go because you have Membu here. There's some Colton Miller trade talk going around right now. There's Michael Mayer trade talk going on right now. There's Aiden O'Connell trade talk going on right now. Vegas is trying to they're digging deep in that dirt. They're rechurning. You know what I mean? They're Brady's got those boys in there, It takes a while to build a championship roster. You need guys. You need guys to develop.
Yeah, you need guys to develop. And I think the reason I'm not going to go chalk here is because of the guy you just named in the office. and it's Brady. I think he has a ton of not so much leeway, but influence of how to build a team. So I'm actually going to go with the guy you just said. I'm going to go with what we feel is one of the best, if not the best, offensive lineman in this draft.
Ooh.
And we're going to go Armand Membu.
Ooh, I got to crack one of that. Because I thought you were going to take Shador. I thought Shador was a lock from Moss Money.
No, I don't think so.
You got Gino. You said I don't need him.
I think yeah, I think they're okay with Gino. I think they redid that contract too to give Gino a couple more years in there.
They extended him.
Yeah, they extended him. Yep. Yeah. So for me, we're going to protect our investment. We're going Armand Membu.
Yep.
Offensive tackle, Missouri. The Jets are on the clock.
And for anybody wondering if this is the way this goes, the Chicago Bears are pounding the Jets right now.
For sure.
Oh, they're saying, please, just just.
I think they stay put though. I don't see.
Let's look at who's in front of them and do they really need to make the jump? This one's easy for me. I think the New York Jets. I've heard some rumblings lately that's funny, but I've heard edge rusher, which was one that's been a little odd. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. I could see it. You know what I mean? Like I could see him doing it. But there's one name that is stuck throughout this entire process, and that's tight end Tyler Warren. And we're going to go with Tyler Warren here to the Jets. I think that, ultimately if the board falls this way, I think they would trade out. I really think they would. But I think Warren just gives them a BPA on their board kind of thing. I'm sure they have a high grade on Benji. I'm sure they have a high grade on Walker, Will Johnson as well. But yeah, I'm going to go with Tyler Warren. I think they want a tone setter in the locker room, just an all around good football player.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like the pick. I think it makes a lot of sense.
You just invest in Fields, give him another weapon and somebody who can block in the run game.
Yeah, no, I do. I like the pick. I like the pick. Now with the Panthers on the clock here, they are dying.
A funny one.
They are dying for some type of edge rusher, or some type of just rusher in general. And what I've seen and heard, that it's Walker that they're looking at.
That's been the player that's been most heavily linked to him.
Yeah, it's been.
But I will say,
go ahead.
In my opinion, as an edge rusher, depends on what they want. As an edge rusher, his former teammate in college, Michael Williams, has a higher ceiling. But Walker, his measurables and everything tell me he's a tweener. He's not quite, twitchy enough to play off-ball linebacker like a Bond, but he's not quite big enough to just solely rush the passer. So he's a weapon, Not going to compare him to Hassan Reddick. That's not quite who he is. I have a high grade on Walker. I just don't know where the Panthers would plug him. The Panthers run something similar to Fangio. But Walker's been the guy that's been linked to him. They have the highest paid offensive line in the NFL, at like $95 million collectively or something like that for their starters. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think this is a good pick. They get maybe a fit of need. They get younger. They get something up there that they beef up that pass rush. In my notes here, they had the lowest QB passing rate last year, so they need an influx of talent, and they need it now. And I think Walker gives them, some talent. Because for me, is it Michael or Mikel? Mikel. So Mikel, when you look at the other rushers, the Scorton, the Pierces,
yeah,
Broncos, the Mike Green that's still out there. You know, he's not the cream of the crop of those, in my opinion, from a pure pass rusher standpoint.
No, but the physical traits and the play tell me that I could project him higher than some of those guys, right?
Maybe.
Mike Green has the same size hands as Kenny Pickett, so just take those little baby hands in the trenches and see how they do. You know,
I mean, 17 sacks is 17 sacks, right? So
yeah, 2 sexual assault charges before 21 something too. So that's something to talk about. I mean,
we're not talking. We just talking about the field.
That's
with the 8th pick in the draft, the Carolina Panthers select Jalen Walker.
Chad, I don't know if Nate knew that one. I hope he did.
Outside linebacker, Georgia. The Saints are on the clock, and what you gonna do?
So Derek Carr told me he doesn't want to play here anymore.
Yep.
I got a brand new head coach who's looking at me like I need a quarterback. He's going, what the hell? I had a few last year to choose from. What do I have going on? My current one doesn't even want to play for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a running back because, I have Alvin Kamara, and I'm pretty sure they redid his deal, if not last year, the year before that. I'm Mickey Loomis. I'm in cap hell, and I have Deion's son sitting right in front of me. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I have essentially an easily fireable head coach in Kellen Moore. Am I wrong in that? If I wanted to bring Prime to NOLA?
No, I don't think so.
Like I could see Kellen Moore being a 2-year guy. You know, I mean,
yeah. I'm not sure.
I've never seen great head coach. I've heard awesome things about him. This is nothing football related. This is just straight bro evaluation. He just kind of comes off as a little like squeamish, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But for the sake of the mock, I'm Mickey Loomis. I'm spooked. I'm spooked right now. Like I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, I got 2 guys. I'm going to give you my 2 guys. Shador, I need a quarterback, but like, I don't know. Kirk
He doesn't move.
Apparently in my division for not that much. You know, Cleveland wants him. I just need to get by. I don't know if I really have the foundation to, you know, kind of build up a Shador. Kellen's a great QB guy. I have no need for Genty. I'm trying to take calls to see if anybody wants to come get Genty or Sanders.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. They want to trade out. If this board
I'm
falls
taking
like
calls. Yeah, I'm taking calls heavily. I'm trying to get out. But
yeah.
I'm forced to stick and pick.
Yep.
So my 2 guys that I'm looking at are Will Johnson, and I'm going to go Mike Green. And the reason being is, even though I just made 2 jokes about sexual assault charges, and Mike Green would whoop my ass in person. I mean, the dude's a beast. But the way I'm looking at it is Cameron Jordan's on his way out.
Yes.
And it didn't work with Chase Young. We tried. I just don't have that guy. I mean, they've had a few guys that they've drafted. I mean, Logan Hall, Peyton Turner, that just hasn't worked out. And Michael Williams and Shamar Stewart, they're traits guys. You know what I mean? They're not, like you said, I need a guy that gets sacks. I need a guy that's just hand in the dirt pass rusher. And Mickey Loomis in New Orleans, we don't really give a damn about off-field problems. So Mike Green, welcome to the New Orleans Saints at number 9 overall.
Oh, wow. Surprising pick.
Not surprising at all. I would say if Mike Green's been mocked most to the Falcons, and I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let people do their legwork if they're even watching. Look up the owner and his wife's charities and what they do involving people who have suffered from sexual abuse and sexual assault.
Okay.
So the guy that's had it happen twice before he was 21, you're mocking him to the Falcons. They've done a lot of work on him, but that work could mean they love the player, and I could be totally wrong. Or a player that the NFL is higher on than the media, they're trying to get trade out for, or have somebody come trade up and come get him.
Yeah, I don't think he goes this high, in my opinion.
I think his range starts at Carolina. It starts at 8.
His range does start at Carolina. You can't.
And it ends at Tampa.
Production.
It ends at Tampa.
Yeah, if they were going to go quarterback here, I still don't think it would be Shador, to be honest. I think.
And I don't think any quarterback is justified in the top 10, like you said.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
and
like I said, I'm trying to trade out. I'm looking for calls here.
You're looking for somebody to move up here.
But nobody's answering the phone.
Yeah, nobody's answering.
I mean, this is Marcus Smith 2.0 for Eagles fans. I mean, no one's answering the phone. I mean, let's just say my guy was Jalen Walker, right? Like, our guy was Jalen Walker. Well, he just went to our division rival.
Yep.
So we're like, what the fuck, man? I mean, what are we going to do here?
Yep.
Well, we're going to pivot to the best player available based on athleticism and production, and that'd be Mike Green.
Okay. So we're not going to take long on this one. Chicago's running.
Bears fans are happy. If there's any Bears fans watching, they're happy.
Running to the podium. Genty is the pick. And I'll just do it the right way. With the 10th pick in the draft, the Bears select Genty, running back, Boise State. Niners are on the clock, brother.
You got to be like one of those former players that gives like an 8-minute speech about how, like, you know, how great your time was in the city, and then you just talk like back to everybody else. And then at the very end, you're like, oh yeah, and with the 247th pick, you know. Niners. I got a good board looking at me if I'm the Niners. So I got a good nugget earlier today. And that's that a lot of people have been putting an offensive tackle or defensive tackle to the Niners. A lot of guys have been saying, you know, trenches. I've heard the same thing, but I've heard that they're comfortable with developing a day 2 offensive lineman behind Trent Williams as opposed to just plugging and playing somebody. They're more open to developing the player. So this is where the draft. This is where it gets interesting, and they really, really need an interior defensive lineman, like really, really bad. I mean, they need a Nolan, they need a Grant. Shamar Stewart, Michael Williams don't quite fit that. They could use a corner, they could use a Johnson Barron, but I've seen them, you know, spend some money on that. The player that's interesting here, if he fell, was Jalen Walker, because that'd be like they'd take him no problem, put him at off-ball linebacker. Jahad Campbell's interesting here. This is where his run starts as the next best, you know, off-ball linebacker. But let me double check something before I pick with the Niners. Let me just double check something real quick. I want to say we're going to try to make do with what we have at wide receiver, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to say we're going to try to make do, because right now Ayuk's coming off an injury, Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings, and then we brought in Marcus Robinson of the Rams. So I want to say I'm okay there. The offensive line looks good. They're deep. They've got a lot of guys under contract, which tells you going into the draft that they're a little confident in it. Where they're just so shallow as interior defensive line. We're going to lock up the most talented nose tackle in the draft, a la Jordan Davis. And we're going to go Kenneth Grant, Michigan, which has been mocked here and there. A lot of people have been taking Walter Nolan lately. Some people have taken Derek Harmon. I know Harmon's had some pretty serious medical stuff. Like, I don't know how serious it is, but I know of lately it's gotten pretty popular about how there's some medical red flags with him, even though there's good tape. But Kenneth Grant to the Niners is one that's got some serious heat to it.
All right, let's take a pick here. Man. So where we at? With the 11th pick in the draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Kenneth Graham, defensive lineman, Michigan.
He was a little bit higher on our board than like players to talk about kind of thing too, you know. But I'd be curious to see how you felt about him.
I memean the Graham is obviously the who gets all the praise, but I think Grant is underrated.
I think he was doing the dirty work that they need.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, you know, and I think he was highly productive too. Like the production shows as well. But that also could be a benefit of Graham taking a lot of the the attention too as well. But that's a good thing because that means you can beat your one-on-ones, right? So I think that's
we've drafted and developed a DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead and watched them walk out of the door and make big money. You know, some of them have made 2 contracts or more plus leaving the team. So, you know, Niners are smart. They're going to stick in the trenches, but a lot of people have been mocking O-line. A lot of people have been mocking D-line. From what I heard, it's defensive line. That's where they're looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, like I said, I don't think it's a bad pick. They still need an edge rusher, though, opposite of what's his name, Bosa. So they're in a complete. I think they're in almost in a complete rebuild. To be honest with you,
I wouldn't put him in that sense just yet.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the Rams have kind of done better with less. And I think the Rams have hit on a lot of later picks.
Yeah,
the Niners have really struggled in the draft the past couple of years. That's what set them back a good bit. But right now, they've got 8 guys under roster for edge rushers. So, sure, they're looking to add to it, but it would tell you that Bosa and Gross Matos might end with Drake Jackson, you know, competing. That might be some guys that they could be comfortable with rolling into week 1.
So there's no way to fix the Cowboys. Just putting that out there. The franchise is doomed for fucking ever.
Take the player with the highest talent to character issue grade. So you get that right.
So the way the board fell here, I think we're really looking at receiver. Here we understand how tough it's been. You know, with CD and not really having a secondary target here. I think offensive line could probably use some help here as well. I think as a place to look. I think defensively they're okay. You know, Mozzie Smith was one of their. I think was he a pick last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, he was their first round pick a couple years ago.
Yeah, first round pick last year.
He has not developed. For the Jordan Davis haters, go check Mozzie Smith's production.
Yeah, and then you know you got Parsons still. You know they got some guys in the back end, so I think corners tempting here because you know with the division that you're in, you can never not have enough good corners. I think I got that from Andy Reid philosophy there. So if I can, I can't pick corner down there. There we go. So you know, I think Will Johnson is really interesting here because it'll give him a good influx of talent on the back end. But I mean,
he's definitely the most talented player with the most questions around him, not based on character but injury.
Yeah, I heard he did well at his pro day though. I already killed his pro day.
I mean, yeah, most of them do.
Really well, yeah, I'm about to say most of them do. But I think I got to go back here. If I'm, you know, I think I got to get Dak some help. You know, we're looking at Super Bowl bust as we do every year, and the question is, you know, from a fit perspective, what makes the most sense? You got CD running the middle, and I think you need an outside guy, and I think that's McMillan. I think he's the best outside guy you have on the board. I really like Golden though because I think you can move him around a lot. But give me McMillan, receiver. Well, actually, let me do this.
Go ahead and say his name.
I don't even know his first name.
I don't either. I've never looked up the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, I've heard it before because I know they played Colorado. I want to say Toria McMillan, receiver, Arizona. I think that's a decent pick for them.
Good luck, Goodell.
Yeah, I think
you say he didn't love football, so that's step one.
Yeah, it's purely on a need base for the Cowboys.
Anthony Edwards also said he didn't love basketball, so you know, never forget that.
Miami Dolphins are on the clock.
So it's quick and easy. I'm looking to move Jalen Ramsey. I need to replace him. Where it gets questionable is Will Johnson, best talent on the board by far. I mean, Hunter and Johnson, I think I said it on the last show, are in my opinion, the top two corners. Barron's right below him. But Jahdae Barron provides more of a nickel safety kind of skill set, in my opinion. More of a Cooper DeJean kind of player who, in all honesty, we both know we can line up DeJean all over the defensive back end and he'd do good wherever he went, but it's where can he be great, and he's great in the slot. I think that would be the case with Barron, so I'm not going to justify a top 15 pick on him, even though he's the more versatile one. I'm going to take a big swing here, and 13th overall, Will Johnson, quarterback, Michigan. Pack your bags, Jalen Ramsey. You're going to the Cowboys. Or the Raiders. I don't know. If you're leaving the Dolphins, I don't know where you go from the Dolphins.
With the 13th pick, the Miami Dolphins select Will Johnson, corner, Michigan. So our guy Tyler Warner is off the clock, and I'm not sure. Even though I think Colston is a really good player, I'm not sure if I would take. There's a lot of Michigan guys here. There's almost 3 Michigan guys in almost the top 20.
Yeah, we got 3 Michigan guys in the top 15. That's are we going to make it 4?
No, I don't think we go here. Warren was our guy, and I think it's the difference between Warren and Colston here. All so right. I don't think we.
Are you looking to trade back in this sense, or are you kind of like, well, I mean, we could.
I think this is a trade opportunity, but I think they're looking at offensive line here.
Will Freeze signed elsewhere. They spent a lot of money on corner this offseason.
Yeah.
But offensive line, and you got a Kelvin Banks staring at you.
And that's where I'm going. I think Kelvin Banks is right there staring at me. So I'm going Kelvin Banks. Let me do it the right way. Pick is in. We're going Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle, Texas. Wow, the fall for Shador is insane.
I mean,
somebody will come up and get him.
I mean, this is the reality of when you see how the board falls, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just take a look back at where we're at right now. I mean, we have chalk through the top 4. We went old chalk with Graham, and then no Genty to the Raiders. They went Membu. You got Warren and Jalen Walker. That's a bit chalk. Off the board a little bit with Mike Green, although I would not be surprised if Mike Green went top 10, and I'll leave it at that. Ash and Genty to the Bears. They're the happiest fans there is. Kenneth Grant, Cat McMillan, Will Johnson, Kelvin Banks. Falcons, what they would do is draft Matthew Golden out of zero need, because all they know how to do is draft the best offensive player available. Actually, it would probably be Colston Loveland. So they're just going to take the best playmaker they can get to pair up with Pitts, Bijan, and all that. But no, this team definitely needs pass rush, man. And there's 2 guys that I'm looking at here. I'm looking at Michael Williams, and I'm looking at Shamar Stewart. And I'm gonna go with the guy that I've been watching all year, because he's right down the road in Athens, and that's Michael Williams, Georgia. So with the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select edge rusher Michael Williams, University of Georgia.
I like it. All right, I'm gonna have to. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to speed up just a tad.
You're good.
My daughter's waiting for me. So we're gonna speed up just a tad.
You get it.
The Cardinals. So the Cardinals are in an interesting spot, right? Because
just paid Josh Sweat a lot of money.
Yes, they just paid Josh Sweat a lot of money. I think Banks was their guy in terms of tackle.
Yep.
Simmons has some question marks there. You're in the top. But the talent's there.
Yep.
He would have been in top 10 pick easy if he was healthy. So I think they switch gears here, and I think they go receiver. I think they need to add more to that offense. And I think they dig back in the well. I don't think we think Golden here. I think we take Emeka.
Oh,
I think they go right back to Ohio State. I think they pair Emeka and Harrison together. We're moving over from Golden. And we're going to go with the 16th pick in the draft, Emeka Aboka. I think that's how you say it. Aboka, receiver, Ohio State. Boom.
All right. So let's see. What do I got? Bengals. Man, I don't know if we can turn this down. Matthew Golden would be pretty insane to do. They I don't think they're going to do that. Let's go. We're going to go get the edge rusher with all the hype and no production amidst my Trey Hendrickson issue, amidst the Sam Hubbard retirement, and over James Pierce Jr. due to some character concerns. We're just looking to go with a guy that's all potential. Shamar Stewart, edge rusher, Texas A&M. So with 17th pick, 2025 NFL draft, Cincinnati Bengals. Shamar Stewart, edge rusher, Texas A&M.
I like it. All right, Seattle's on the clock. Banks is gone. We're not taking Simmons again for those same issues. I think he's one of the stories that kind of fall here. And the one thing I know about Seattle is that just like the Steelers, the Ravens, they pick guys that are Seattle Seahawks. That kind of just fit who they are and what they do. I think here is the way the board fell. They just signed MVS. They signed Cooper Kupp. So Golden's almost like redundant a little bit here. So
it would be a little bit.
I think we go linebacker here, and I think we take Jahad Campbell right before the Bucks.
Yeah.
I think we take the best talented player who we think is on the board here. And I think we just get back to what the 12 was about and what that defense was about. And we get
go get your Mike.
We go get an inside linebacker who can go get it. So give me Jahad with this 18th pick in the draft. The Seattle Seahawks select Jahad Campbell, linebacker, Bama.
All right. Tampa Bay Bucks. This one's easy. We needed an edge rusher, so whoever fell. Bad. They just need pass rush really, really bad. So James Pierce Jr., character concerns, they're out the door here. It would be between him and Donovan Ezeraku, but Pierce Jr.'s ceiling is just so much higher.
Yep.
And I believe in our head coach and our staff to develop the player. I think we're getting a top 10 talent here at 19. That's James Pierce Jr. to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 19.
I like the pick. He's a fit. He's not Simeon Rice, but you get that feel.
Yeah, just let Bowles get his hands on him. Let's get some coaching. This ain't college. Let's see how he comes to work. Let's see him pick up a lunch pail and go to work.
All right, on the speed rush here, on speed mock here, finish up the last 10 picks. Again, I think it's another pick, just like Chicago. Denver's running to the podium. Not much to say here. I think this is chalk as well. They're looking for a running back. That's the way Sean Payton needs. Oh, yeah. So give me Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina.
And just a note, so it is on camera amidst the 10-minute rush. I do have Hampton graded as a true first-round talent and top 15 pick in this class. So not a lot. Not. There are people that do, but I am one of them that is very high on Hampton. I think he's Joe Mixon 2.0.
I think his game translates.
Yeah, I think he plays like Mixon, and Mixon did very, very well.
Yep. All right.
Pittsburgh Steelers, I got to do it. I got to do it. I mean, he's coming home. He's coming home.
It's
He's
a perfect
coming home.
fit. It's a perfect fit.
And then I'm going to have Sanders and Rodgers locker box for the starting position. So we'll see how that goes. This is going to be no football relations. But Shador to the Steelers. Tomlin shuts down all the primes. Going to coach his son. Tomlin said, "I'm going to coach his son." So I think it'd be a great fit for him.
I think it's a decent fit. To be real with you, I do.
I think he fits it. I think it would change Shador, but I think that it would help him as a player.
Yeah, I think it fits. I agree there.
This one's kind of chalk too. I mean,
yeah, this one's chalk.
You got a guy looking at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is chalk. And I think it's a good fit too. Just is a football guy. I think he fits there too, especially with Mike Williams kind of always being kind of injury prone. They need to update the tight end position. It's no secret. But I won't do a long spiel here. Colston Loveland, the fourth Michigan in the first round, tight end, Michigan.
Nice.
This is going pretty good though. I think this.
It's not. I mean, we're not doing trades and stuff, but I mean, it's we're sub chalk, which is what you want to go for.
Yep.
So 23. I think most mocks would probably put Matthew Golden here. Man, I'm sorry. Hold on. Just give me 2 seconds. Because I saw my quarterback just get mauled. But I paid Aaron Banks.
Yeah, I think
I paid Aaron Banks. So it is what it is. Because Jair's out the door, I'm going to believe in my young group of pass catchers. I know Watson's been injured, but I'm going to grab another another day 2, day 3 guy. Jahdae Barron, cornerback, Texas, going to the Green Bay Packers at pick 23. I think this is just going to be the highest player on their board. I understand I'm picking him above Starks here, but I think Barron fits more what the Packers would want him to do than what Starks would be asked to do.
Hell of a pick there. Golden drops. Golden's falling. So the Minnesota Vikings only have 4 picks in this draft.
They're going to be trading out of this pick. I can guarantee that. But
yeah. But if they
had to stick in pick.
They had to stick here. I think that he's looking me right in my face. I think he's probably I don't know who else is on the board here. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to dig too far. Maybe corner here. I think Maxwell, even though I like him, we did a tape on him. I don't know if he fits the corners that we typically see. He's a little small for a Viking corner.
They would more go for a Revel or a Ravel or a Thomas.
Yeah, but I'm taking Malika Starks.
Are you taking Starks here?
Yeah, I think I'm taking Starks here for the Vikings. Harrison Smith
a versatile back end piece for Brian Flores. Let's remember, you're talking about a New England Patriot mind. You got a guy that can line up at almost every position on the back end.
Yep. Yeah. Give me so for the 24th pick in the draft, is it Malachi? Malachi Starks.
Yep.
Safety, Georgia.
The drop is no more. We know how to do some in-house scouting here. Stephon Diggs is out the door. Tank Dell's definitely not playing this year. I'm bringing in the second fastest player in the combine in the 40-yard dash. Welcome to Houston. Houston Texans select wide receiver Matthew Golden, Texas.
Yeah, that's a good pick there. I think he fits them too.
I think he could fall there realistically too. I just want to make a note to fans. I mean, we're not going crazy off the board here. I mean, some people have Starks 13 to the Dolphins. So, I mean, Starks fell and look what landed in the Texans' lap. I mean, that's totally possible.
So what do we do here? So if I'm the Rams felt like if that game wasn't in the snow, they might have beat the Eagles.
Rams felt like they got bullied a little bit. You got You got a couple. You got a tough pick though too, because you have the best interior offensive lineman and the most talented tackle with injury history.
Yes. And there's linebacker. I think there's corner a little bit. There's probably off ball linebacker.
Yeah, but they handle those things in later rounds. They draft Cooper Kupps in the 6th, or excuse me, Puka in the 4th. They don't worry about
And I think I think that
they signed Adam. So
I think the way the board fell, even though he gave smoke that he wasn't even doing it, going off the cliff here and going with the betting of over 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round. I think they draft Dart here. I think they go Jason Dart. Jackson. I'm sorry, Jackson Dart.
Yep.
QB, Old Miss.
He is the first quarterback of first good quarterback to claim he models his game after Jalen Hurts. So that's a great pick.
Yeah, I think they go Dart here. Yep.
All right. So that made there we go. That makes things fun. The Rams tend to shake the board up. So that was really good. I like that. Baltimore Ravens, we're looking for a Baltimore Raven-like player. And man, I mean, let me double check something real quick because they let a couple guys go offensive line wise. I just want to make sure. Yeah, we're gonna stick to the trenches here, and yeah, I'm taking Josh Simmons. I mean, I can't pass the talent up. I mean, we're Baltimore. You know what I mean? We'll make do. If he ends up having to play guard, it is what it is. He's the highest graded player on our board. So welcome to Baltimore, Josh Simmons.
I like it. So Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State. Oh man,
final stretch, final 5.
Yeah, if anybody needs an edge rusher, it's here. But who to go for? Right here. Do you go?
No, they need an edge rusher opposite Aiden Hutchinson coming off.
Yeah. And who knows what Hutchinson looks like coming off the board here. Man.
He's looking all over the place. He said, "There's got to be something. There's got to be something."
Yeah, I don't know if Azaraku is a fit for.
Remember all those pages that said he had a bag full of tools.
Yeah.
You watched one highlight clip and you said, "Man, all this guy does is the same little
right." It's the same move. It's the same move over and over again.
Top step chop. I mean,
yeah. But I think he is a first round talent.
Oh yeah. We're not knocking Azaraku. We're different.
So, but I don't know how much better he is than Marvis Davenport.
First round talent in this cycle.
Correct.
Now, I don't have a first round grade on Azaraku. He's not there's what's called a true first round grade, and he does not fall under that. But I think he is. I think he is a really talented football player.
Yeah. So we're gonna go with it. It's on the board. It's a need, and he's a talented guy.
It fits what they would do. He's a clean player too. The Lions like clean players. Brad Holmes likes clean players. It fits.
Donovan Azaraku, edge, Boston College.
Oof. All right. So I'm thinking like the Washington Commanders. I just got dick slapped by the Eagles in the NFC Championship. I'm upset about it. I'm upset. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm like, man, what the hell? Why'd they beat me so bad? And the reason they did was because of a few things. Corner, I got money put into it. I'm not going to do anything there. I mean, they could with Maxwell Harrison. I've seen a lot of people knock Harrison. They signed. They don't value the position. We're going to go Tyler Booker here. I'm going to get a foundational interior offensive lineman. I went out and got Tunsil. Cosme's coming off injury at right guard. Allegretti hasn't been the best. I think it's a safe pick. It's not flashy. But I think Tyler Booker Eagles fans should be upset if they get Booker. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was watching him because I got the Eagles last, so I was watching him fall. And
he's nasty. He's got violent hands.
Yeah, he would have been a good plug in for that right.
No shot to tackle, so you have to just accept that.
All right, so we have corner. We got DB. I think here for Buffalo, they gave away. Was it Elaine? I forget his name. From corner.
Yeah, Kyrie Elam. They gave corner, but they brought back Trey White. Safety's been a big concern for the past few years with Hamlin and Taylor Rapp now. This is the post Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde order. You got Nicky Minwari looking at you.
Yeah, I'm not a big. I know he's a big athlete, but I need
Cam Chancellor. You got to have.
I need some players here, and I need some talent. I think up front. So, I think right here, I think I'll go Walter Nolan here.
It's a great pick.
For the Buffalo Bills here, I think he's going to fit what we do here. I think it just adds a little bit more depth to that defensive line, and it gives you a boning star who could really do well in Buffalo. So, with the 30th pick in the draft, give me Walter Nolan, D-line, Ole Miss.
Well, the Chiefs, they're not going to let Minwari fall, so there you can go and lock that in. They would take BPA. I mean, he would go there, and Andy Reid and they find a room for him. I'm sure, Spags would just be like, oh, it is what it is. Just bring him in here. We'll make it work.
Yeah, I like it. And for your defending, reigning, two-time Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. And all along, the guy, Derek Harmon, has been tied to them. I'm trying to see who else is here. I don't think I can look anywhere else. Ooh. It's between Harmon and Sutton. It's Scorton. I'm sorry.
Scorton, bro. Scorton's dead. No medical red flags with Scorton.
And I think we did our mock-up of it, and we both said we would trade up for Scorton. This is a good position to be in.
And we're talking like up to 26. We're not talking,
Yeah, we're not talking big.
I'm trying to block Detroit from getting scored. That's the thought process, depending on how the run goes.
And if I'm Howie, we're picking up the phone for people who want to jump up to get Milroe.
Yep.
So they get that 5 years.
Or Shuck. So that's
that's there. But if we're forced to pick here, we're staying where we are. I can't get over. I like Nick Scorton. I like the tape.
Versatile. Just versatility, man. That's the name of the game.
With him, with Carter, I think you get a first-round talent that plugs what you're missing from Milt, and that defensive line gets just even better. Give me Nick Scorton.
D-line. D-line. They do it again.
Yep.
They do it again.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining for that mock. I got to go. Sorry for the speed rush. This is Moss Money. That's Ernie B. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead and give the replay. Talk to you guys later.
Adios.